I've been at TheatreWorks fairly consistently since 2008. The last show that I did this season was Once Upon a Mattress, where I played the role of Sir Harry. Before that, I was George Surratt, Sunday in the Park with George. So I get a lot of variety this season, which is, you know, the greatest blessing that an actor can hope for. This show is nuts. It's completely insane. Everything bad that happens in this show is a direct result of my character's interference. So in a lot of ways, he is the antagonist. He is the antagonizing force. He comes in just as everything is about to come together and everything's about to be happy and everything's about to work out, and he just ruins it. And it's quite possibly the most fun that I've ever had on stage. I spend the majority of the show harassing the other cast members and the audience. And it's just so much fun that everybody in the audience gets to be a part of the show, because I will bring you in. I suppose I relate to the cat more than I might be willing to admit at first, because, well, I mean, we're all a little neurotic on the inside. It's my favorite thing about getting to play this character and getting to be the cat in the hat is that essentially the filter comes off, and it's such an impulsive role that you don't have time to really think about what you're doing. You don't really have time to process your own raw instincts. And you know, if I'm on stage in the show, if I feel an urge to do something, then it's already happened. So everything that comes from this character, even though it's completely off the wall and completely neurotic, it is all genuine to me. And that's only slightly horrifying. This is by far the most exhausting role physically that I've ever done. I mean, I still have very clear memories of doing shows like A Chorus Line or Hairspray, where it's just non-stop and it doesn't end, and you just go when you go when you go. And this is so much more tiring because it's just the sheer unpredictability of everything. I'm doing full sprints across the stage for 2 hours. So physically, I'd say that's the biggest challenge, is just actually performing the role physically and just being present for all of that. Because you don't have time, I don't have time to turn it off. I don't have time to go backstage and get a drink of water. I don't have time to take a break. And even when I'm not on stage, I'm frantically running around and making sure that everything is in its place for the next time that I'm on stage in, 30 seconds to a minute. It's a busy role, and it is very demanding. I'm gonna get to use a lift. We're building not a hydraulic lift, because that implies a certain kind of technology. No, we're putting a lift into the pit of the stage, and it's not set up yet, but I'm gonna get to use it. I've never gotten to be lifted onto a stage before, so I'm actually really excited for that. I guess I can't technically say that it's my favorite part because it hasn't happened yet, but I'm really excited to get to have that experience. There is so much happening in this show, really for people of all ages. Nobody's too young to see this show, but as an adult, if you're bringing your kids to see this show, you're not going to be disappointed either, because there's so much happening, and I'm trying to do what I can to kind of harken back to the older Cat in the Hat. There was like the 80s cartoon of the Cat in the Hat, which was one of my favorite things growing up. So if you're careful and if you pay attention, then you'll see things that you saw growing up with the Cat in the Hat, and there'll be a lot of other special things that we sneak in for the grown-ups.